Now it's time for us to read our text. This week we'll be doing closer and closer reads, but first we need to start here. Before we read, we're going to look over some things so that maybe we can predict what is happening in the story. The title of our book is Little Bear. Excuse me. The author's name is Carolyn Lee. And the book is illustrated by Tim, Beaumont. Okay? So we're going to follow along in this story. And I want to know, what do you think the story will be about just by looking at this page right here? Do you think the story will be about a bear? That would probably be a good prediction. So let's preview some more illustrations and let's revise or perhaps change, which means revise or confirm what your predictions are. Okay? Remember, we're just looking at pictures here. Here's the title again.
Little Bear by Carolyn Lee. Illustrated by Tim Beaumont.
Oh, look here. What does Little Bear like on this page? Yes, that's right. Little Bear likes a hat. There's a hat right there. So your prediction is correct. Let's look here on this page. What does Little Bear like here? We see a kite and he's smiling. So let's confirm that. I'm just pressing a button.
Little Bear likes a kite.
Yes, that confirms our thinking that Little Bear likes a kite. Let's look at another page, but this time we're not reading. Okay, we just want to look at the pictures and the key details here. Let's see what else Little Bear likes. What does Little Bear like on this page? Yeah, it does look like he'll like some strawberries or perhaps some berries. Let's look at this page. What does Little Bear like on this page? I see him spelling a flower. So if you predicted that it's probably flowers, maybe you confirm your prediction when you read the story or listen to the story to see if your prediction was correct. Let's move on. Let's look at this page here on page 6. We see leaves, Little Bear still smiling. Or could he like the tree? Not sure, right? So keep in mind, as you read the story, you probably want to confirm your predictions if you think he likes leaves. But if you think that he likes a tree, maybe you want to change your thinking after we read the story. And on this page, what do you think he likes? What do you think Little Bear likes? He's still smiling. Yes, he'll probably like the nuts. So, as we read this story, we'll be listening and using some strategies to help us with this book. But what kind of book is this? There it is right there, a fiction. This is a fiction book. Okay. We have been reading fiction books and we also have been learning about fantasy books. Remember that now that we have read quite a few of fantasy stories, which are stories that have kind of fiction where things happen that could not happen in real life. But this story is they have it listed as a fiction book. But keep in mind, fantasy is a kind of fiction where things happen that could not happen in real life. So although it's listed on the fiction books, it's a fantasy book. Fantasy books, once again, is a kind of fiction where things happen that could not happen in real life. How can you tell that this is a fantasy story? There's a kite and there's a bear. Can animals fly kites? No, silly. Animals can't fly kites. That makes that a fantasy story. Remember, fantasy stories are kind of a fiction story where things could not happen in real life. Okay? So a bear can't fly a kite. I would be afraid of something like that. So keep in mind that this is a fantasy story. And we always, when we read, we make sure we're tracking our print with our finger. Another thing I wanted to point out, let's look on page 2. On page 2, we have a sentence here. And okay, I apologize. You may hear me repeat the same thing again. Okay, but we were looking on page 2. On page 2, you see a sentence here. The sentence begins with a capital or uppercase letter. That's correct, a letter L. Is it a lowercase l like you see here in the word little? No, all sentences begins with an uppercase letter. Let's just double check. Is that an uppercase letter there? Yes. All sentences also have a punctuation mark at the end of the sentence. Let's look at the end of this sentence here. What do we see here? Hopefully you said a period. That's correct. You don't see a question mark and you don't see an exclamation mark. You see a period. A period tells us to stop and pause, and it gives us information. That is when we use a period. If we were asking a question, of course we would use a question mark. But here, at the end of the sentence, we have a period. So keep in mind to use a period at the end of your sentence. Let's see if they started this sentence with an uppercase letter or capital letter. Indeed, they did. And at the end of the sentence, they have what kind of punctuation mark? Very good, a period. And all of your sentences should end with periods. Let's just check. Point to the period here on this sentence. Very good. Can you find it real quick on page 5? Find a period. Very good. Wonderful. Now, find the uppercase L, which is at the beginning of the sentence. I'll help you. Very good. Find the uppercase L on the other page for me. Very good. Wonderful. Now, the word that we've been working on this week is little. Can you find little for me? Little. What letter do you expect to have at the beginning of the word little? L. Little is L-I-T-T-L-E. Little. Little. So what I'd like for you to frame the word little here. Let's go back. Let's frame little here. Remember, use your 2 fingers and frame little. Take those same 2 fingers, your left hand and your right hand. Your pointer fingers should be up in the air, and let's see you frame little. You shouldn't be covering up the word little. Let me turn the page for you. There's little again. Frame it. Quickly frame little here. Good. Can you frame little here? And let's see you frame little here. And last but not least, let's frame little here. Good. Very good practice. Now, so that we know that this book connects to everything that we'll be learning about in Unit 6, let's make sure that as we read, we're finding out the different things that Little Bear does in different seasons. Okay? So that's our big question, is what are the different things that Little Bear is doing in the different seasons? Hopefully the illustrations and the pictures will help you to understand what is happening in the story. So let's sit back and let's start reading.
Little Bear by Carolyn Lee. Illustrated by Tim Beaumont. Little Bear likes a hat. Little Bear likes a kite. Little Bear likes a berry. Little Bear likes a flower. Little Bear likes a leaf. Little Bear likes a nut. Is Little Bear taking a nap?
Oh, as you can see here, they changed the ending mark, the punctuation mark. They have a what? Hopefully you said a question mark. A question mark is used if you're asking a question. Let's read it again and see if they're asking a question.
Is Little Bear taking a nap?
Would you like to answer that question? Let's look at the picture. Is Little Bear taking a nap? Yes. So some people use question marks, especially if they would like to ask the reader a question. And indeed, this time they asked us the question. And we responded with an answer to say that yes, he is taking a nap. I really, really like this story. So what I would like for you to do is get your journals, okay, if you don't have it already. And what you're going to do is draw a picture that shows what you like to do in the winter time. What do you like to do in the winter? After you finish drawing your picture, Ms. Jones would like for you to copy this sentence down right here. And the sentence says, in winter, I like to. So you're going to tell me right here what you like to do. Keep in mind, you need to put a period at this end of your sentence because you're telling me something. You're giving me information. You're not asking a question. So you need to draw your picture and you need to copy the sentence down and finish it. In winter, I like to. Would you like for me to share what I like to do? Let me see. In winter, I like to read. So Miss Jones will put the word read here. And of course, don't forget my period at the end. If you need Miss Jones, I'm right here. Raise your hand if you need help. Thank you.